Hi, Nelson Thibodeau for Local News Only. We're standing here this morning with Joel Stanley. We're standing on some property that belongs to Joel Stanley's family. This property has been a point of contention where a developer wants to put a high-density development here in this area. So, Mr. Stanley, can you just give us an overview of what's been going on?
Yeah, the proposed lots that they have for this development would be approximately 3 times over the limit provided by Colleyville. Many of us moved to the city of Colleyville because we like the open spaces, we like the rural feel, and yet we're trying to put in what essentially would feel like zero lot line homes or almost condos next to a farm. And we want to have the farm feel. We want to have open spaces. That's why most of us moved to the city of Colleyville, so we had half-acre lots, so we had space between our neighbors. To be able to put the subdivision in, they would need to have a drainage area on the south side of the property, and they would need to have also drainage on the other. There is a fair amount of property in here that has some flood issues. The homes would have to be approximately 15 feet off of the fence line in some areas. Some of the homes, the maximum home would be only 20 feet off of the fence line, which the neighbors to the north, they have large backyards, and now they're going to have a small home. They're going to actually have 2 small homes in the back of each of their backyards right near their fence.
About 5 years ago, my husband and I were looking for a farm to buy. We felt very lucky to find this farm in Colleyville near our 2 sons and their families. We wanted a place for our grandchildren to be able to raise animals and be able to enjoy the benefits of a farm. Mr. Fagan brought the property next to me as an investment. He wants to crowd in 15 zero-lot homes onto a narrow 5-acre lot. He's asking the city for special zoning to allow enough room for 15 homes with extremely small yards in the street. This will make my farm and other future developments in the area awkward.
Just as a curiosity, how many times have you been to the city as far as meetings are concerned over this issue?
There was 2 zoning committee meetings that we went to in opposition of the deal, and it was proposed to approve the zoning change, and that moves it on to city council. We've met for city council meetings at least 3 other times. After the 3rd city council meeting of having opposition, of a large majority of opposition at the city council, it was denied with prejudice, which allows them to bring it back at any time. How many times can I afford to continue to go back to the city and continually fight this? We've been there 5 times for city meetings. We've also been called into special meetings with the city.
The community development director called you in to City Hall because you all opposed it.
The meeting was actually called by the engineer designing this property, and it was facilitated by the city, and it was in their conference room. They brought us in and they talked to us about how we can possibly work together and allow this subdivision to go forward.
It almost looks like the city's taking an advocacy position here. Is that your feeling?
That's certainly the way it was felt. It was at their conference room. The city employees started the meeting. City employees reviewed kind of what had happened in the previous city council meetings, and we were inundated with questions from the city about what it would take for us to relent our arguments and allow the subdivision to move forward.
Did anyone show up and speak in favor of this project?
No one has spoken in favor of the project at all, other than the developer. We're not opposed to development. We're just opposed to improper development that's not consistent with the guidelines of the city.
Where do you think you stand now?
Where I think I stand right now is I have to go to the city at a whim at any time the developer decides to go to city council and repropose his idea, because I feel like if I'm not there, they're going to vote to allow it. And so I have to adjust my travel schedule. I have to adjust my business meetings and things to make sure that I'm always available at sometimes what seems like a moment's notice to attend a city council meeting to make sure that the opposition is there, so I don't lose hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment of my family.
Well, Mr. Stanley, we want to thank you for your time. Nelson Thibodeau for Local News Only.